Hey guys, so today I made it to 90 pounds of fat lost. So let's talk about it. This is kind of crazy. I didn't expect to be making progress like this early in the year. Obviously, I never have. But it's something to celebrate, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to get in depth. We're going to talk about certain things that I'm going through at this stage of the journey. I'm not quite out of super morbid obesity. I am so close. I've got to be within a pound. My body fat is 40% now, so it's 40.0. 40.0. So I am 0.1 away. Once I get to 39.9, I'm not SMO anymore. And so obviously I'm thinking a lot about that because I spent pretty much the entire whole year from like last March to this March fighting super morbid obesity and clawing my way out essentially. And so that's obviously really clouding my thoughts about hitting this milestone. I'm definitely thinking about it, but I'm going to save a lot of that for when I finally break out of it, which I'm kind of glad that it happened this way because I wanted that to have its own dedicated video. But we're going to talk about getting to 90 pounds lost. So just so you guys know, I measure my body weight by fat percentage. I don't go based on the number on the scale because I never want to disincentivize myself to put on muscle. I think putting on muscle is great. I think when we go purely based on weight, it is a bit of an issue. And as I've established, I'm not huge on the BMI. I'm more so huge on body fat percentage. I think body fat percentage is the truth. It's much more accurate. And let's talk about it. So my body has definitely changed over this 10-pound period, and obviously over October, November, December, etc. You know, it's been a long time since I've reached a milestone, which I expected because of the seasonal factors. And as soon as seasonal factors shifted, I started losing again, pretty much right on time. In fact, even earlier than last year. So I'm really happy about all that. I think I have to make that clear because it's good to see. We love to see it. We love to push past the barriers that fat acceptance would say are true or not or whatever. But we love to see it. I love to see it. Set point theory dies yet again. What do they say for set point theory? Like, you should only be able to lose 5% of your body weight. Well, I've lost 15.7 now. So, and they say, well, you usually only can keep it off. Well, it's been, for not very long. Well, it'll be 2 years in August of 2024. So, living proof, disproving the narrative, etc. Other than that, I'm noticing I'm definitely in a different type of body status. So I've noticed that I'm starting to get hot in here. It's a little warm, which is good. I'm just going to use this opportunity as a sauna moment because it will help my metabolism. But basically, I am starting to have to deal with like social politics a little bit when it comes to weight loss at this point. Like, what's something that we never think about? I had to change my Bitmoji on Snapchat. My Bitmoji, I had to shift the body type to a smaller body type to reflect more so where I'm at. That's weird. But I think it is a good representation of the fact that, like, the body size that I am now, I'm not fat acceptancy, by American standards, I'm not that big anymore. I'm really not that big. And I find that it's creating a little bit of shifts in my life, a little bit. People are starting to see me a little differently. I think over the past couple weeks or few weeks, I've definitely started looking better, and it is reflecting in a lot of different ways, which is fine. I have no issue. I'm not one of those people that's like, I look better now. No, I'm going to be like a big bitch about it or whatever. I'm not like that because I'm not losing weight in like a very hypo way. So it doesn't make me like my hormones are not so fucked up after weight loss that I just get, like all weird like that. I still get weird, which we're going to get into that. But it's not weird like that where I'm like, people just don't, they're just so horrible and whatever. Like, I don't feel that way at all. I don't really judge other people because I understand. And I think it's not like intentional, if that makes sense. But it was just interesting. Like, I'm noticing that by American standards, I'm not that big anymore. So it's definitely shifted. But I still keep it in line with the body fat percentage. So I am still aware of like the global side, right? And by global standards, I am still super morbidly obese. And that's fine. Like, I try to keep it more at that global perspective and that sort of like universal perspective. But by American standards, I'm probably just, obese at this point, or not that big, or you're just kind of big. So it's interesting because people in America, we have this view of like super morbid obesity as like, these huge mondo people, right? And it's because of media, fat acceptance, TikTok, and all these things, especially the internet. We're constantly seeing people that are drastically bigger than I am now. So by comparison, it has shifted. I'm starting to get that fierce fat femme taste of privilege. I'm just kidding. I hate it when she says that. It's so ridiculous. But I am starting to get a little bit of more distance and less proximity to that super fat category. And I'm getting past the Duff phase. I mean, I'm still the Duff, 100%. But I'm past peak Duff, and I'm more at the like awkward, funny Duff, not the socially silent and shameful Duff. So I don't know how to explain that, but we'll try to break it down. But yeah, I would say physically, I'm still struggling a bit. It's still difficult in the winter. I am still having hypoventilation episodes. I am still getting very, very cold, right? Like, I have a lot of these issues, but I think a lot of it is winter and weight loss combined. It's still very, very tough for me to do. And then the biggest like hormonal thing I'm noticing is obviously and always my serotonin. It's so crazy. I don't know if you guys can see, but I have rosy cheeks in the day. So usually this would happen in the night. This is like a serotonin thing that I get. So the cheeks flood in, and is very much a thing. And I feel very awkward, extremely awkward, okay? I feel like I'm in high school a lot, where it's like you have that feeling of awkwardness because it's like I don't really know how to relate to people at a different size anymore. And I find that, I haven't really been trying to date or anything like that, but the dating landscape for me, it is changing, where it's like I am shifting I'm becoming a little bit more intimidating. I call it intimidation, where before it's like I was just a huge ass bitch. So guys would just say things like, boom, let's smash, basically, right? Because there's no pretext or no like fear, because it's like I'm just a huge person, right? So there's not this like social aspect. Whereas now it's like, as I'm getting past peak Duff, it's like there's a little bit of an intimidation factor in the dating world, where guys who find me attractive, they might be more nervous to talk to me and stuff. So I'm getting more of that. And that's difficult for me to navigate because I am very introverted, and I've had to think a lot about like introverted Riz, because there is a charisma to being introverted, but I haven't figured it out from this vantage point or from this place. And so it's weird. And again, I'm not actively trying to date or anything like that. It's just stuff that I pay attention to, because in terms of like I said, a certain context, I am reaching a different type of status as I'm getting beyond peak Duff and going into more of a small fat category, which is a more approachable, dateable category. And so as I'm reaching the proximity to that, things are shifting and people are seeing me differently. So let's talk about some of the weird stuff that I've experienced. So obviously the serotonin is still surging, okay? Like, or I'm having so many of those issues. Like, I'm very restless a lot. And it seems like it kicks in the daytime now too, and it used to be just the night. And it's not unbearable, but it is weird. Like, getting rosy cheeks in the day, that's not normal for me. It's usually at night. And so it's like, what comes with that, I've noticed in my mind, is a lot of hierarchical thinking. So I'm thinking a lot about status. I'm thinking a lot about my status. I'm thinking a lot about my station in life, where I'm at. And quite frankly, a lot of the time, I'm dissatisfied with it. So I find that during this time, as I'm getting healthier and I'm getting out of supermorbid obesity, I'm becoming much more concerned with my station in life, with my status, with the level of success that I have or don't have, which I think is very much a serotonin thing, because serotonin, in my opinion, is the status hormone. It has to do with that. So as that response is shifting, normalizing, healing, I am getting upset about being broke, for example, or I'm getting upset about being single, or I'm getting upset about how my body still looks. Like, and so I found that I've had a little bit of a return to envy, which I haven't felt in a very long time. Like, I used to struggle with envy a lot. And lately, I felt jealous. Like, I had a crush, I have a crush that I've been watching online and stuff. And in my own mind, I'm like, oh gosh, maybe I could get some kind of proximity to him, as I'm losing weight, because he was kind of chunk. And it's like, all of a sudden, after 4 years of him being chunk, he just decided to lose like 40 pounds in the past 5 months, or 5 or 6 months. And now his abs are showing. And I felt like so bitter about it. I was so jealous. And I was like, this is so not a rational response. Like, I was jealous in the sense of like, oh my gosh, like, I thought I was getting towards your league. And now you're like way out of my league again in terms of like body. And so it like really upset me for a few days. And then there's been a couple of things envy wise in terms of career, like somebody that I really don't like, they got on a show that I wish I could be on. I'm not going to give any details about it because it's not relevant and I don't want to start any drama. But it really upset me, because it's like, I want to be on that show, or I want to do that. Why does this person that I don't like, why are they doing it? And it like really triggered me, right? And I'm like, whoa, because oftentimes I think that I've evolved, or I think, oh, my mental health is just so much better now. And like, oh gosh, I'm not like that anymore. But I find that a lot of times I feel like I have improved mentally, but it wasn't. It was just that I was dying. And so now it's like that I'm getting better. It's like that comes right back. And it's like, whoa, I'm a little bit of a viper bitch. I'm a little bit cutthroat. There is a reason I'm a Swiftie. It's because I actually share a lot of her qualities. I care about status. I care about like, I don't know. I just care about those kinds of things. And I'm kind of mean, and Taylor's mean too. And so I think I'm trying to find a balance, because it's like, ooh, those qualities are kind of returning as I get healthier. And I'm not going to be a fat activist and be like, oh my gosh, weight loss is toxic and it just like really affects your mental health and da 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 da. Like, I don't believe that. I think a lot of these things, they're just a function of me getting healthier. It's like, I'm bored in my life. I'm not happy with where my career is. I'm not happy with the level of money. I don't like that I'm single, right? It's like you just start thinking about all these things. But instead of like how I felt last year, where it's like I didn't feel like I could fight, or I didn't feel like, my serotonin was so strong. I felt like I just wanted to give up. I felt so hopeless and so incredibly depressed about these things. I feel like over the past few months, I've been living in that long enough. I've got past this identity crisis that I experienced. And now it's like, I see these issues, but I want to fight them. I want to get through, and I want to do stuff. And I find like, I do like to fight. I do. But I think that it's important for me not to be distracted by like petty quabbles and petty fights and these types of things. And certainly not like being jealous of a crush and like this stuff, like it's just not productive. So I'm trying to find healthier and more productive outlets for fighting, which obviously love fighting fat acceptance rhetoric, love fighting the obesity, love fighting a lot of things like that, where I can channel this in a way that's very positive. But yeah, like I'm getting a lot more aggressive too. So I feel like I'm definitely changing, but it's like these older ways of how I used to be are returning with a fresh perspective and a new hormonal view. So I don't know that like it's because my serotonin is high that I feel these ways. I think the or you know, high or low or whatever it is, it's changing. But I think regardless, there are times where I don't ever feel satisfied, where it's like I lose the weight and I don't feel any satisfaction from the goal. Or I do this, I don't feel any satisfaction. It's like I struggle with being bored so much because I don't enjoy anything because of the way my brain is. And that is a function of the weight loss. I do think as I lose more, then I'll get out of that. But that's why I always talk to you guys about how boredom is such a thing in weight loss, because I feel like our body, like our brain, this is just a theory, but I theorize that our brain has to adjust to having less serotonin the less obese we are. And so it's like we're often withdrawing from it and having weird fluctuations and issues. And again, like this is physical, okay? Because everybody, not everybody, but I feel like a lot of people, they like to try to dismiss it. But this is physical, right? This is a physical thing that is occurring. That is an indication of something mental happening. Now, the status and this and that, that's always been me. I was that way when I was a kid, okay? That's not going to change. Like, some of that stuff is just my personality. I am, you know, vipery. I'm a Slytherin. You know, I have these qualities. And so it's like, I think it's okay to have these qualities. There's nothing wrong with being ambitious. I just need to find a healthy way to utilize it, you know? So I think that that's kind of what I'm thinking about now, is like smarter ways of fighting, better ways of fighting, productive ways of fighting, these kinds of things, right? So that's kind of what I'm focused on right now, is just adjusting to having these aspects of my personality come back and trying to integrate it into my new, healthier Alex paradigm. So I look forward to the next update, which should be coming very soon. I should be out of SMO very soon. And that's where I want to talk about those aspects. That might be a little bit more serious of a video. But in this one, I just wanted to go ahead and give an update and talk about where I'm at. So let me know if you guys have any comments on this. Like, how did you feel about comparing your body to other people's bodies during weight loss? Because that's kind of where I'm at right now. And it's weird because I haven't done that in a long time. So let me know what you think. And I will talk to you guys again very soon. Have a good one. Bye.